So in this video, we are going to fork and clone the Teacher Taylor Arcade repository. We're just going to do those 2 steps. So where did I find this Teacher Taylor Arcade repository, you ask? What a great question. I found it by going to Canvas, looking under Assignment, and hitting GitHub repository. Boop. Just as easy as that. Now we're here. The first thing we need to do is fork it. So let's say Teacher Taylor Arcade is like, Teacher Taylor is just like Pixar Studios, really high up, like we want to collaborate on a Pixar project, super professional and high tech, and we just want to poke around and maybe make a few changes. So that when we fork it, we're saying like, let's take this published, already good to go code, source code, and we're gonna tinker with it a little bit. So first we need to make this copy of that remote repository and bring it into our own remote repository. So to do that, to fork it, we're gonna hit this button here, fork. So it just moved up from 54 to 55. And we were just taking a couple seconds to fork that remote repository, the Teacher Taylor Arcade one, and now we have the Taylor Student repository. This will look different, obviously, on your GitHub, but you can see that we've made a copy of it on our own. Cool. That was a fork. So now we're going to clone it. So to clone it, we're going to hit this green code button, and then we're going to click Open with GitHub Desktop. You should already have GitHub Desktop downloaded. If you do not have it downloaded, stop this video, go do it right now. Also download Visual Studio Code. So if you don't have either of those two, or if you don't have both of those two downloaded, stop the video right now, go do that, and then come back. Okay, Open with GitHub Desktop. Okay. Let's ignore that. Let's pretend we just popped up right here. So to clone a repository from the internet, there's this handy dandy button that says clone a repository from the internet. So you can either, let's move this over here. We'll do it one more time. So there's a couple ways we can do this. We can hit Open GitHub Desktop. That kind of automatically puts that URL in there, and we can hit clone. That's the easiest way. Or you can just copy that URL that it gave you from here and then manually put it in there. But obviously, this is the easier way. Let's just do it this way. So once you get here, you should have a button that allows you to immediately open it in Visual Studio Code. If you don't, you might need to alter your preferences. On Windows, I believe it's Options. But once you get to a page that looks like this, you can hit Integrations, and then you should have a drop down of what you can choose as your external editor. If you do all of that and you still don't have that right here, don't worry about it. You can hit Show in Finder or whatever your Windows equivalent, and then you can open it with Visual Studio Code. So you could just go to like Open Visual Studio Code up. I'm going to get rid of these because it's messy. And you can just say File, Open, and then you can go to wherever your repository is, and you can open it right up from there. Or you can skip all of those steps and just hit Open with Visual Studio Code. So, at this point, you can see we have our files for the project here. On your computer, in your IDE, we have the README, and we have our code template. And then any changes that we make are going to show up in this button right here. We'll get into that in the next video. All right, so we just forked and cloned it.